What's up? This is your girl Meagan Good and
hi, I'm Tamara Bass
from Crazy Actress Productions, and we are sitting here right now. Just to be completely honest with you, we were talking about socks and being at the airport and how people walk through the whole little
security with no socks on,
stanky feet on.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross.
How do you literally go through? Do you know how many people, especially like Hartsfield Jackson in Atlanta? So many people travel through that airport every single day, and they like no shoes. So you really gonna walk through there bare? I'm a germaphobe.
That's like tapeworm or something.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
So yeah, these are my house socks, my hotel socks. So anywho, we're here to talk about the IndieGoGo campaign, and also if you had any questions, if you caught me on some last night, if there's anything you want to ask me. Plus she could tell you a lot about me too. As you can see, she was in it as well. So
and they didn't use half the stuff I said because I probably would have to be in like witness protection right now. No, it wasn't that bad.
There was one thing that was crazy though. I was like, oh, I gotta go. You know what it was too.
I'm sure I don't want to know. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Wait, but we did have a friend that texted me and was like, did you really tell America that she's the girl that eats Skittles off the ground? And I was like, is she not the same girl that showed America that she'd go on somebody else's property and shake her butt like
that's true.
Howard the Duck? I was like, so we're not going to see that?
I love Howard the Duck.
No, that's what it looked like.
You know what's funny is I thought that too. I was like, I look real bottom heavy right now. Like my whole low sides are like swinging from side to side. So that's cool. That's what's up.
But I don't know. No one knows the Howard the Duck
reference. Howard the Duck. He's the one that
when he would get wet and he'd do that.
And he'd be like a ducky love. And like, okay, let's get back to life. Do we have any questions?
James wants to know if you have any TV shows coming up.
There is a TV show that I am developing with my husband, and I can't tell you about it yet. But yeah, there is a show that we're developing. There's also a show that Tam and I are developing. And don't want to give you the details yet because it's still pretty new, but yes, there will be something else very soon.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Okay. All right, so our IndieGoGo campaign, right now we're at 12,000 something.
Yeah, a little over $12,000.
Yes.
I mean, it's still really far away from
right.
$250,
right.
But I can honestly say last week when we came on here, we were at
like $300.
$300. So, you know, it's amazing that people are slowly starting to like catch on and really get behind it. We've gotten so many great messages about what we're trying to do, and even from people who at the moment were like, I can't support you, I can't back you at this moment. I'm still going to tell people, which helps. I mean, people think that we've been told that trying to get to 250 is impossible, or it's not realistic, and people you're ever meet. Yeah, so it's like you tell us what we can't do,
and we're gonna try to do exactly that.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we do need you guys' support. We want you to be involved. We want you to help into the community. And you know, it's like we talk about everything that's going on in the world, and we say like, what can we do? And I think one of the most important things that we can do is change the narrative and put more positive things out there, and put things that this little girl, this little boy can watch, and they can think that they are just capable, or they can know that they are just capable of anything that they want. And when you don't have films like that out there to inspire them or to make them feel something other than what they're seeing, you know, if every movie that we're seeing is, and it's a beautiful thing when we do talk about, you know, where we've come from and the point that we've gotten to, but we still have a long way to go. So we just want to talk about the kind of films that really inspire us and encourage us and make us know the sky's not even the limit. And we want you to have ownership over that. And part of that, you know, is supporting. And even if your only support is like just reposting it, that is a blessing to us as well. As much as we can get the word out there, we're trying to get the word out there.
I'm like, it doesn't take a lot of people to get to $250,000, but it takes a lot of exposure. You know, we've seen campaigns where it's just a total of 3,000 people have raised $600,000.
Right.
So it's like asking for $250 seems like this huge amount, but we know that if people really saw our hearts and saw what we're trying to do, that it wouldn't be that difficult. Also, what I wanted to share is a lot of people may be asking, well, with everything going on in the world, why should we donate to a campaign to help make a movie. But what you don't realize is art is the number one way that we put ourselves out there. It's also the way that other people perceive us. So if we can have a chance to put something good into the world and something positive into the world and something that shows what we believe that relationships between black women are like into the world, that's one more step and one more way for the rest of the world to see us. And it's you'd be surprised. People use art to escape. People use art to define. People use art in all kinds of ways. So yeah, even though it's a movie and even though it's not that's what happens when you're doing like TV sort of kind of.
Sorry about that. It was making noise.
This is from her birthday celebration a couple of days ago. We threw her a surprise. Her husband, who loves her very much, obviously threw her a surprise birthday dinner, and she had no idea. And these are part of the decorations.
And I be careful that tackle. And also he threw me a surprise unsung screening party, and I had no idea it was going to be that, and I was really excited. Yeah. And it was really sweet because, babe, please don't be mad at me, but when it was over, he actually cried because, not boo-hoo cried, but he shed a few tears because he just like told my mom, I can't believe you guys have come through what you come through, and even what you saw on there is not even the full reflection of everything that we went through, from losing our house to losing our cars to, a lot. But anyways, so yeah, that was from that.
And it was making noise because the door's open. All that
so that kind of stuff. Yeah. Any questions?
What roles do you both play in the movie?
So I'll start it off. Since I wrote it,
right? Wait, who asked the question?
Yeah. Marlon King.
Marlon King. Okay.
Hi, Marlon. Okay, so I play Patrice. She plays Suzanne. I play a nurse who is, struggling with her own issues with love, her own issues with accepting love and embracing love, and you find out why throughout the course of the film, and it's partly
my fault,
her character's fault,
right.
And it's an interesting dynamic and an interesting hurdle for them to come through, but we actually play the two estranged friends. Everyone else is still in contact. Like, her character is Suzanne, and she's in contact with the other two women. I'm in contact with the other two women, but we're not in contact with each other. So this incident forces us to face those demons, and face those obstacles, and heal that, so that I can now embrace this other part of my life. And this is what typically happens, is as women we carry on anger, and then we try to enter into relationships, and we have all this baggage and all. Mary J wrote a song about it.
She did.
She did, which I'm a Mary J fan, so don't judge me. So she wrote a whole song about baggage, but we carry this baggage into relationships, and even with our friends, we sometimes take something that happened between us and take it into a relationship with a romantic partner. So this man is presenting love to me, and I am afraid. So that's my character.
I play Suzanne, who is the quintessential woman who appears that she actually has it all, but in truth, she doesn't. She's not as happy as she appears. She seems like she has the perfect marriage, and you find out that it's not quite that. She's also on the verge of potentially making a very big mistake, or maybe making the best decision of her life, but it has to be done a certain way for it to be appropriate. And so I will be pregnant in this movie. I will not be pregnant in real life.
Not in real life. No, Meagan Good is not pregnant.
No, I'm not pregnant. Not in real life. My character Suzanne will be pregnant in this movie. No, this is not a foreshadowing of real life. We're not there yet. It's big time. But yeah, so I don't want to give too much away, but the other two characters outside of me and Tam's characters are really, really interesting too, and we have some really great people already looking at the project,
And hopefully our next Facebook Live will be able to share,
announce
like, this person is playing this one.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting to hear back from her, and also waiting to hear back from someone that we So if he's watching this, dude, can you let us know?
Right. So. And just so you know, it's like we talked about the dynamic of getting actors on board that you may already be incredibly familiar with, but haven't necessarily played this type of role, and so you get to see them in a totally different way. And then also bringing actors on board that you may be familiar with, but you don't even know how dope they are because they haven't had an opportunity to shine that way. And so we've got both dynamics, coming around.
And then we still have one more role that we think we're just going to go and hold auditions for and see if we can find some diamond in the rough. Or somebody who just, we all need one person to give us that break. We need one person to say yes. And both of us have had that, somebody say yes to us. And then we have a whole bunch of people say no.
It's true.
Like lots of no's. I think we hear no way more than yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we want to be able to at least hold auditions to be able to say yes to somebody who otherwise wouldn't get the opportunity.
These are the facts. Any questions?
Jennifer Bishop wants to know what audience is the movie geared towards.
Jennifer Bishop?
Yep.
Okay, first of all, thank you, Jennifer, for asking a question. I think we would say the audience is really geared anywhere from like 14 to, 50 years old. I mean, I think it's a really broad audience, maybe even broader than that.
I think even my aunt, who is probably going to watch this tomorrow because I'll make her watch it, she would enjoy this movie, and she's not 50. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to
don't be playing around.
No, because then she'll text me like, Missy, why are you telling people how old I am?
You're like, I wasn't even talking about you, Missy.
But she knows I will because she's the only one that texts me and calls me Missy.
And there's that.
Yes. So, yeah,
it's a broad audience. It's all nationalities. I think
women just happen to be of color, but it's a colorless story. Much like we were talking about the other day, much like how Gina Prince Bythewood did Love and Basketball, and it was a movie about men and women, if they just happen to be black. This is a movie about two women who are black, but I feel like, yes, we're not going to lie and say it's not geared towards women. It's definitely a woman's movie, but I think that, my father, who loves Greenleaf, he won't admit it to the world, but he loves Greenleaf. But actually, but but I think those kind of men too will be like, I'm gonna watch this and enjoy it. I mean, maybe their wives would have to take them with them to the movie, but it's definitely a movie that is geared towards women, but it's not geared towards one socioeconomic or one ethnicity.
Right. And shout out to Oprah for being supportive of everything, we do. And hopefully be supportive of me too. But let's see, what else? If you want to support us, you can go to Crazy Actress, is it .com? Productions.com?
Yep.
CrazyActressProductions.com, crazy with a K. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out
and
there.
it's on the bottom of the page, it says IndieGoGo campaign. Just click that and it'll take us to the page.
Straight there.
And then next time we do this, we're going to have this big thing up there.
So you can see it, and it says Crazy Actress.
Yes. But right now, it's crazyactressproductions.com. Click it.
Yeah, and there's that. Any more questions?
Lachey Shea asked, I'm just joining the live feed, but what motivated the idea for the movie?
Lachey Shea, thank you first of all for asking your question.
Good question.
Do you want to answer that?
Oh, yeah, because I guess what motivated me to write this was I started the first draft of this movie 15 years ago. Maybe 15 years ago. And what I wanted to do was tell a story about what my life is like. The type of friendships, the type of dynamics that I had in my personal life. I had this, I call them my clique, I call them my crew, I call them my sisterhood, my village that keeps me up when I'm down, that the first people I call when I have great news, the first people I call when this dude over here has pissed me off, the first people I call when I'm like, hey, let's have a drink. And I wanted to write a movie that expressed that. Also, I'm in business with my best friend. And that's her. Why not make a movie that kind of shows what our lives are like? Things that we can, sit there and laugh about that nobody else is going to understand. So that was my motivation. And I wanted to put something like that into the world because I literally haven't seen anything like it.
Like 15 years.
I mean, I go to the movies a lot. And I was like, I just want to see something that shows us. So instead of complaining about it,
let's do it.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll just write it.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And
draft after draft after
draft
draft.
after draft.
We're finally ready.
My reason for wanting to be involved and wanting to make this movie with Tam and to play this character is because these movies existed when we were, 15, 17, maybe 20 years old, and we haven't seen movies like this in years. And there's nothing for this generation that's behind us, or even this generation, our generation, or the generation before us, to really get back to enjoying those kind of films that are about women empowerment, that are about sisterhood, that are about supporting each other, that are about telling the truth of what we go through, but not just the struggle and, they're going through so much, but like also the victory. How do you get through it? How does the simple fact that you have this sisterhood with 1 woman, 2 women, 3 women, 4 women, how is that literally the difference in your life and how you get through? And how you're supported, and how you love yourself, and how you see yourself, and what you think you can do. So, for me, I fell in love with the characters immediately. I was blown away by how good the script was, because I didn't even know that she was a writer like that. And yeah, I love the character, and I think she's just really interesting and really complex. And I think most of us are as women. And I think all the characters, they're not just a representation of a stereotype or a caricature. They're real women with complex lives, with complex relationships, just really trying to figure out what it is they want out of life and how to really get the best out of life and how to be their best selves. And so it's an incredible script, and again, something that we're really excited to get made, and we definitely need your support to get it done. And if you are interested in supporting us, go to crazyactressproductions.com. That's with a K, crazy with a K. And we sound really crazy saying that. But yeah.
Pretty Rose wants to know, what's the name of the movie and how did you come up with the title?
Hi, Pretty Rose.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Pretty Rose.
The title is If Not Now, When? And basically, it's a symbol of what all of these women are going through. Each 4 of them have a crossroads to bear. So it's, if not now, if you don't face your demons now, if you don't heal from your past now, when are you going to do it? Mm-hmm. And it's funny side note, her husband likes to throw that title back at me all the time. Like, I told him I wasn't going to dress up for her birthday party. If not now, when? I told him something else. If not now, when?
My cat.
She has her cat. So that's the title of it, and that was the motivation. She has these 2 cats that I swear, they're hairless cats, everyone, so they look really, really freaky. But she treats them like children, and she can know which one is which, even when the door is closed. And it's freaky to me. I'm not a pet person, so this is all just a little odd. There goes a little.
This is Jackson. Oh, sorry, that's a lot of business going on. Okay, we're gonna let him down. But where's your brother is the question.
See?
Well, we gotta make sure. We'll be right back. Malcolm's actually okay, because I feel like he was crying. I feel like he's maybe locked in somewhere or something. It's only one way to find out this food. So you can keep going.
Go, sorry. This is so bad. Go for it. Any more questions?
Amanda Shari wants to know, are there any other actresses we know that will be part of the movie?
What's your name one more time?
Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. Right now, we can't announce that. We are in talks with one other actress that you would know and one actor that you would know. But until both of them give us the green light that they're actually on board, then we can't announce it. But we are in talks with at least one to play one of the other friends and one guy to play
her love interest.
Helps me.
You're not gonna struggle.
Amanda Amby wants to know, how do you 2 stay motivated and determined after all these years, whether it's with the starring in a film or writing your own?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Amanda.
Amber Amby.
Amber Amby, yeah?
Yep.
Amber Amby, thank you for your question. How do we stay motivated?
You know what? I'll let you.
For me, I just stay motivated because I know what I want to put into the world. I know that people say that it's cliche, that, one person or two people or three people can really make a movement or really change things. But I don't think it's cliche. There are films that I watched as a young person that totally, literally shaped my world and made me feel like I could do what I'm doing now. It made me feel like I could get to the point that I'm at now. It made me feel like I can get way further than I've gotten. And I want to create those kind of films for people, you know, and I want to inspire them, and I want to, I also believe it's purpose, you know. I feel that one thing we all have in common is that we're supposed to help other people, and that we're supposed to love on other people, and that we're supposed to just do positive and loving things. And so for me, I stay motivated knowing that my heart is in the right place, my intention is in the right place. It's never about money for me. It's always about putting something beautiful out there. It's also about creativity. It's also about being my authentic self. And I know all those things, I believe that God approves. And so I just have the utmost faith that anything that I set my heart to, anything we set our heart to, is gonna happen. It's gonna come full circle, no matter how much disappointment, no matter how many roadblocks, no matter how many walls we run into and almost knock ourselves out. It's just, when you keep believing and when you stay focused and you stay the course, I do believe if it's aligned with what God desires for you and it's aligned with what you're supposed to be doing in the world, that it will come full circle. So I think we're the type of people who will never quit and never give up, and we're gonna see this all the way through, just like everything else in our lives that we aspire to.
Yeah, pretty much everything she said. Knowing your purpose, that's what keeps me motivated, is that despite all the obstacles that I personally have faced, us collectively have faced, and it's been a lot. Don't let this smile fool you. I just have joy inside of me that no one else can kill. So that's what keeps me motivated, knowing that when I was a little girl, or when I was in heaven still, before I even made it to my mom's womb, God had a purpose for me. So I keep going in that. And my secondary motivation, which is just as equally as knowing my purpose, is I have nieces and nephews, and I am like the best auntie in the world. Like, I'm not even gonna front, like the best auntie in the world. But they're my motivation, and wanting to put something and wanting to give them something to look to, you know, I think outside the box. I look at things a little differently than maybe their parents do. So it's to give them a source of my motivation is being their motivation. So it keeps me going, and anybody that's ever visited my Instagram page knows that me and those kids are like, they're my everything. So, you know, having them in my life makes me realize that failure is just simply not an option at all.
Real talk.
Yeah. Plus, they want to go on vacations and stuff.
I know, the littlest one wants to go to Japan.
Yeah, she was.
How old is she?
She's 7.
Yeah.
Bats is 7. Bats feels like we're going to Japan. Tokyo.
That's
not Japan. It's Tokyo.
Right.
So she can see Tokyo and people.
Tokyo.
Yeah. So good.
From the mouth of babes.
Yeah.
Mayor Boulevard B.
Hi, Mayor.
Does Hollywood give you a hard time, being as though you're going against the stereotype?
Mayor Boulevard B, thank you for your question. Gosh, there's so many stereotypes. I'm not sure which one specifically you're referring to. But yeah, anytime I go against anything, pretty much everybody gives me a hard time. But I guess it's a good thing, because it just motivates me to really be true to myself, and to really be authentic, and to really be unafraid of being unapologetically exactly who I am and exactly who God created me to be. So yeah, everybody gives me a hard time, but it really motivates me, and it also builds my character, because I'm a very sensitive person. So when people say or do mean things, or, you know, if I don't get afforded an opportunity for whatever, maybe the reason or whatever it is, that's the kind of stuff that, it definitely does affect my heart, but it allows me to build my character in a sense where I just choose to love people more, and I just choose to rise above any and everything, and I just choose to have a positive attitude, and I just choose to be excited about whatever struggle it is, and take pride in knowing that I've had to struggle more than some others have. So we both have.
Jennifer Bishop
Hi, Jennifer.
has said, have you thought about maybe taking this movie to the stage in the long run? It sounds like this story needs to be heard from city to city.
Oh, thank you.
Interesting.
Definitely a thought.
No, I hadn't.
Jennifer Bishop.
Jennifer, thank you, Jennifer. No, I hadn't thought about changing it into or adapting it later into a play. But that's something to think about.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think
Yeah,
about.
let's get over one hurdle first.
Right.
But I definitely think it's an interesting. I'm from the theater. I'm a theater baby. I got my training in the theater, so the theater is always near and dear to my heart. So that's definitely wow. I never thought about that.
That's very interesting. I like that. Any more questions? Once again, if you want to support us, it is crazyactressproductions.com, crazy with a K.
Yes, and we have a couple of new perks up there too.
Oh yeah.
So check those out. And good perk. I mean, just check them.
Let's tell them some of the perks.
We have one of the big perks is it's a pretty big one. We have a perk up there that allows you to hang out with Sway at his job. Maybe meet some celebrity guests, depending who comes through his job at that particular time. Then Sway has all the answers, right?
He sure
He has all the answers.
We love you, Sway.
He has all the answers, so that's a good perk. We also offer Snapchat or Instagram taking
over your Snapchat or your Instagram. We also offer Sway shouting out your business.
I think that was not up there.
Oh, we have to get it up there.
So I'm like, that was not up there.
What other ones are up there?
God.
We have a virtual tour of the set while we're shooting, so you actually get to see everything that's going on behind the scenes as we're actually shooting it. We have sit-in sessions with the editor of the film, and if you're in London with the composer. What else do we have?
And then we also have an option that if there's an amount that you want to back us with that you don't see a perk for, you can drop us a message and say, hey, this is the amount that I want to support. I don't see a perk, and we can talk about it. What's great about it is those messages come to us, we actually see them, and we can design something
specifically carved out for you.
Yeah, so if you see, if you say, hey, I want to back X amount of dollars, and this is what I was thinking. Like, we've had one person do that already, and it worked out for her. So
we have other things like, one of the bigger perks is potentially a producer credit, which would be a huge deal for someone who's starting out in the business and really wants to get their name out there. We also have some speaking line, perks, which is a huge deal for any actor or actress who really wants to get their face out there. What else do we have?
I think that's about it.
Yeah. We'll think of some more and we'll read them next week so you know specifically what is available. Any questions?
James Barnett wants to know, what is some advice that you can give to an up-and-coming actor or actress?
Study.
Yeah, definitely study. Definitely work with either an acting coach or go to an acting school and just really get comfortable with it and learn how to trust your instincts. Learn some tools to put in your toolbox.
And read. Read as much as you can. Read, and not just trade publications, but read about from the greats. Pick up memoirs. Pick up anything. One of the best things a casting director ever told me was, she said, I came in to read for her, Monica Swan, love her. But I came in to read for her many, many moons ago when I first started, and she's one of the reasons that despite every no I've heard, I keep going, because in the back of my mind she's always like, you're one of the best, you're one of the best. And it's because she told me I know how to interpret material, and it counts for me being well read. And that is not something that, you can be pretty, you can be a lot of things, but if you don't have the ability to make them believe you're that character, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
for about 2 or 3
right.
jobs.
And then you're like, why can't
along.
I get a job? Well, because Pretty Girl number 10 came and took those Pretty Girl jobs. So just be and 100% commit to it. That's another advice. And the last key thing, this is every actor I know says this: if there's anything else you want to do in this world, do that. But if you can't think of anything else, if nothing else motivates you, if you wake up and you go to sleep thinking about being an actor, being a writer, then that's what you're meant to do. But if there's anything else, this is a career that is not for the faint.
It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Because think about it, when we go into auditions or go into meetings, I look at it this way. I try to explain. My dad is from a business background. So it's like going into a presentation and you give your proposal for a company. Say, hey, this is here's my charts, here's my proposal. When they reject your proposal, they're rejecting your proposal. We're our proposal. When we go into a room,
in our mind, I feel like
but it's in my this is my interpretation. It's like when I go into a room, I am my business proposal. I am putting all of me out there. So you have to have a thick skin to know that you're not necessarily rejecting Tamara. You're maybe rejecting Tamara's interpretation of the character or Tamara's, things that she can't control. But I'm still my presentation. So if your skin is not thick,
it can be brutal.
It can be brutal.
I pretty much agree with what Tam is saying, but I also think it's very important not to take it personally, and to know that sometimes it doesn't have a whole lot to do with you. Sometimes it can be anything from your height to your skin complexion to who may be a more
I had someone tell me I
famous
was too
actress.
urban. I spoke too urban.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit of both. Listen, or can you speak more urban? I'm like, what does urban speak like? I'm black, I just am, But I think it's important to not take it personal. I think it's important to have the mindset of what's yours is yours. No one can take it from you. And what someone else's is someone else's, and you can't take it from them. So really just be well-read, well-studied, focused. Know that it requires a lot. You have to love it because it's not just about fame. Fame is a very, very long road. And even once you get it, it's a very, very long road of all kinds of feelings you feel behind closed doors. And you have to really love the craft. And it really has to be about something bigger than just being famous. What else? And then also, for me personally, I believe that you should always ask God. Because when you ask God, if you get that confirmation from Him, there's nothing that can break your spirit, break your mindset, break your knowingness of the fact that you're going to make it, you're going to succeed. And I think that to have that as the base, it really, really is a blessing that will keep you focused.
Dorcas wants to know.
Dorcas.
Do you think as a Christian it's easier or harder to work in Hollywood?
I think as a Christian, for me, I believe it's easier. Because when you have that kind of faith, again, it keeps you focused. I think a lot of people think when you bring up the fact that you're a Christian, and it's not that I go around blasting and I'm a Christian, blah, blah, blah. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you the truth, obviously, or if it just comes out naturally and organically, cool. But I think it's just about being your authentic self. The second you stop being authentic and you think you've got to leave your belief system at the door is the second that you start making compromises and you start becoming someone that you're not. The more that I have been honest about who I am, the more people have respected me. Even if they don't have the same belief system or don't agree with it, they have more respect for me because I stand for something. I don't fall for anything. I'm not judgmental. I don't go around telling people how they should live their lives or who they should be. I just am authentically me and I stand for something. And the more that I've done that, the more respect that I've had. Also, the more peace that I've had. I've had a pretty peaceful career amidst even the other stuff that I've dealt with, but just in trusting God that He's going to bring me all the way through. So I would say I think it makes it easier to know that you got a little something extra on your side.
Thuto wants to know.
Thuto.
Let's say that people help financially. Will you guys give back and how?
What do you mean?
Like give back in what way? I mean, if you answer that question, then we'll further elaborate on what you're saying. But in terms of off the top of our heads, yes, part of doing this film is giving back. You know, me and Tam could go and get other jobs or go and work on other stuff, but part of the reason of wanting to do a film like this is intentionally, specifically to give back to the community, to give back to the idea and kind of the breathing fresh air into sisterhood in film, because film does inspire the rest of the world. Film does affect, film does change perception, film does paint people's worlds just by viewing it. Also, you know, of course we want to give back in the sense of, or we will give back and do give back even currently right now. We do a lot of work with young people. We do a lot of stuff in the community. We're very actively involved in a lot of things. And if you look at both our Facebook pages or Instagram pages, you can kind of see what we're involved in. You know, that's what it's about. Giving back is literally what it's about.
Keith wants to know how old you both were when you started acting.
Wow. I started in theater when I was about 11. My first professional job, I was considered old. I was 18. I think I was 18 when I started professionally. First commercial at 18, and I did not book a lot of commercials. Believe it or not, I am not the commercial girl. Like they, you know, I'm just not the commercial girl. But I got my first job when I was 18. My first movie when I was 20, I think. I was playing 14 at the time. Wow. Yeah, I played
Belly Fruit?
Yeah, Belly Fruit, yeah.
Belly Fruit's a really good movie. If you get a chance, check it out. I'm sure it's on Netflix or
something. It's
so pretty
old.
amazing. She made me cry in that movie.
But I think I was 20 when I got that, and then so 18. I was considered older out here because I didn't start as a kid. My mom did not understand this. My mom is a nurse. She doesn't understand this at all. So she was like, okay.
She came out here by herself when you were what, 17?
I came out here when I was 17 to go to college.
She's from Syracuse, New York.
That was the deal I made
by herself
with my parents, that I was able to. I moved across the country by myself. I didn't turn 18 until almost done with my freshman year in college. But the deal was I had to go to college. So I did that. I went to Loyola Marymount University, but I came out when I was 17, and it was like, you should have saw me my first year. I wasn't legally allowed to do anything, so I learned how to forge my mom's signature on everything. Right, because it's so bad. But I was 17, and I knew that this is what I wanted to do, and where I wanted to be, and what I was meant to do. So I went to Loyola, studied theater and communications with an emphasis in screenwriting. So I have 2 bachelor degrees, and I graduated college at 21 years old.
Gangster.
Boom!
I started when I was 4. I was the commercial kid. I did probably over 60 national commercials from ages like 4 to 15 maybe. And then my first real speaking role was in Friday when I was 13. I was girl number 2 when I was 13. And I'll never forget because they'd actually put my little, picture in there to see if they wanted to see me, and they actually had opted not to see me. And I happened to be walking by while they were casting. My sister was auditioning for something else, like right down the street. I walked right by, and I saw that they were auditioning for this movie, and I asked could I audition, and they said yeah, and I came in, and it was F. Gary Gray's first movie, and he was 25 years old. It was like a big deal because it was like make or break him. And I did my little audition piece, and man, I hate him. And I caught Ezel trying to break into my daddy's house 2 nights ago and beat him down, and all that kind of stuff. And then F. Gary Gray was like, he said to the casting director, he said, could you say some curse words? And the casting director was like, no, we don't need that. And so anyway, I ended up getting the part, and then it's been a pretty consistent but slow climb since then, and it's been a blessing. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. And so that would be the story of how we were when we started. And then we met at an audition when I was 16.
Yeah, I was 19.
I wasn't going to tell them how old you were.
Well, I don't mind. I'm proud.
All right, amen and amen. Even though everyone thinks she's younger than me everywhere we go. So, but yeah.
It doesn't help that I'm 5'2" either.
Right.
Like,
I'm 5'2" too.
I don't know what
Okay,
you're
I'm
talking about.
5'2.5".
Oh, I am too. I went to the doctor last week. She was like, "You're 5'2.5". No one believes me. There is somehow I got that extra. Maybe it's my
So
hair.
you're saying I'm 5'3"?
Yeah, you're 5'3".
Or you're 5'1"?
No, you're 5'3".
All right.
Good girl.
So there's that.
Don't shoot
I'm
yourself
just-
short. You're 5'3".
I'm just saying, I'm not in no rush. I like being short. Any questions?
The Keisha Foster wants to know, who inspired you dolls to get into acting? I love your positivity, Meagan.
Oh, thank you, Keisha Foster. Who inspires to get into acting?
I wanted to run away and join the Cosby Show.
Wow.
I was 6 when the Cosby Show. See, if you do math, you figure out how old I am. I was 6 when the Cosby Show came on, and number one, I didn't live in that kind of household. But I remember turning to my grandmother and saying, "I want to do that when I grow up." And she was like, "Okay, Andy girl, you're gonna do that." And then it was like, watching the Cosby Show, and then around 13, I discovered Nia Long. And Nia Long was
Shout out to Nia.
Nia Long was like the first time that I really saw a brown girl that was beautiful but just very accessible. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, there's someone that looks like me. Not that I look like Nia, but it was someone that looks like me, and she's in this movie, and it was Boys in the Hood, and I was like, I want to do that, and then it snowballed from there, watching Jada on A Different World, and then seeing like all these people that started to look like me, and it just motivated me from there.
Yeah, mine's a little weird. I mean, from a young age, I was kind of doing it as a hobby, just as a way to express myself and have ownership over myself. As you saw probably last night on Unsung, if you watched it, I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood, so we were like one of 2 black families, and I wasn't gonna win homecoming. I wasn't gonna be head of the cheerleading practice. As a matter of fact, my rhythm was terrible. And don't say still is. It's gotten a lot better. No, it's gotten a lot better.
Coordination? That's a lot.
Coordination. That's true. So, yeah, I did it as a hobby. And then I think by the time I was like maybe 10, I like scary movies. And Halloween, like 4 and 5, there was a little girl in there who, our character's name was Jamie. And I would like run around the house pretending to be Michael Myers' niece, like he was chasing after me, and like throw myself down the staircase and like climb under the table and be screaming in the middle of the night and like pretending like my ankle was broken, sliding on the ground. And I just like fell in love with just the drama, and just the world was so interesting to me. And then growing up, my inspirations were like Halle Berry and Angela Bassett and Meryl Streep, and I just was like, no, I just want to do what they're doing and just be as good as I can be at it, and hopefully inspire someone else and do something creative, do something good in the world.
Exactly.
Makia Smith wants to know, do you feel like you missed out on some things in life acting for so long?
Makia Smith, I was in high school. I'd say my 10th grade years when I went into homeschool because I was on Cousin Skeeter. And for the rest of my high school year, I was on homeschool. And then from that, I kind of, as soon as I finished that, I went to another TV show with Bob Saget. And I used to think that maybe I would feel like that. I did miss the college experience, and I did really want to go, but I was consistently working at the time, and I didn't want to lose the momentum. And seeing some of my other friends go to college or going to visit them in their dorms or whatever it may be, I was like, oh, I wish I did this. But on the flip side, I had such a blast. I had like such a good.
And you got to go to prom. You went to
right,
prom
I got to go to
Alfred.
prom with Alfred and with my first boyfriend Dante.
Yep.
So I did get to go to prom twice, but they weren't my proms. But I still really was thankful that I got to go. And for me, I was like, all right, so I didn't go to the Winter Formal, but I went to the Kids' Choice Awards, or I didn't do this, but I did get a chance to do this, which is something different than maybe someone else's experience. And so it was my own unique experience. And I mean, yeah, I will say the one thing that I do miss is the idea of like, you know, a 20-year reunion or like, 15-year reunion from high school or junior.
I skipped mine.
Maybe, I would totally go to maybe junior high. Maybe I can still do that. But yeah, I think I missed out on some things, but I think I also got to do other things that were really unique and just a part of my life. So yeah.
Brandon Johnson wants to know if there was an actress you loved working with the most, who would it be?
Brandon Johnson. You want to go first?
That's hard. I'm just stepping into that.
That's
That's
AJ.
It's too many.
No, right.
Like I'm like, okay, wait a second.
Taraji.
There's Taraji. Like, okay, number one, the baby boy experience was. There's nothing in this world like this. Like to this day, like Taraji is my sister. Like I just saw her the other day. Like that's my sister. AJ is. I want to be AJ Johnson when I grow up.
Yeah.
Like I see.
Like we need AJ Johnson's body
Yeah.
like now.
But what's crazy is there has never been an experience like that. Like we were a family. Like you walk into a trailer at 5:30 in the morning and it's like loud and we got music going. So that was a different. And then Michael T. Williamson, I played his daughter on The Fugitive, is one of the most gentle, kindest. He gives his all. Like that was an experience. Like I remember having a particularly tough day shooting one day, and it was a scene that just couldn't feel like I wasn't getting what I needed, and he just figured out a way to make me laugh, to make me get out of my head, and it was an experience that coming from theater, I'm used to that. TV, I wasn't, and so I would say between my whole entire Baby Boy cast and then Michael T. Williamson, like, it's tough though.
That is tough. 'Cause I'm thinking in my head, obviously Laz Alonso. I've worked with Laz on probably 3 or 4 things.
AKA the nicest man in
I
Hollywood.
know, he's such a sweetheart. He's such a good person. I'd say Laz. I'd say Romany Malco, who is just like the sweetest, most gentle. He's such a hippie, and it's so amazing, and he's just such a good spirit. Oh man, my cast from Deception, which Laz is in as well. I don't know, Laura from Minority Report. Yeah,
I just met Laura.
She plays Agatha.
I love Laura.
She's amazing, and I told her I was like, you're gonna love her. She's awesome. I don't know.
It's a lot.
I mean, it's yeah. I could go back, and I don't know. Rick Gonzalez is amazing. I don't know. A lot of people I've worked with. Tyrese, so I call Reese's Pieces.
This is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Too many people.
Georgetta Wright Brown wants you to tell everybody that you're married. There's a big stream going on.
Georgetta Wright Brown. I'm married. Cool.
She is married.
I was married.
I was there.
I was married now. I've been married for 4 years. Yes, I am married, very happily married, and yeah, I don't know what else to say except for I really like him. There's a difference between
loving someone.
Yeah, like everybody, if you're in a relationship with someone for a while or a period of time, you love them, but it's really a blessing when you really like the person and they're really your best friend. So that's all.
Aaron Coleman wants to know, what's the most important thing that you both use or do to maintain success as actresses?
I changed my definition of success. That was the most important thing I had to do. Was I had to stop defining success via somebody else's convention or what somebody else thought of as successful. My thing is I don't think I could fail at anything, because as soon as you try, you've succeeded. There is no failure. It might not work out, but that's not the same as
failing. But that's just one step closer to
that's
it working out.
Working out, exactly. Like she likes to say, there is no no. It's just one. It's just one step to you saying yes. So that was the biggest thing that maintained. So even when I wasn't working as an actor, I was still, I had a regular job. I worked. I needed a break. I took a siesta, as I like to say. I took a 6-year siesta to New York. lived in Brooklyn. Yay, Brooklyn.
Go Brooklyn.
But I needed a break. I needed a moment where I had to remember who Tamara was. And what Tamara, and I was like, well, does this mean I'm not successful? Does this mean that, you know, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z, you know? And in the very beginning of that siesta, what gave me the confidence to actually take it was I had tested for Notorious to play Little Kim. And I didn't get it. Obviously, Notori did. Yay.
Love Notori.
But
it was
the
just
director,
and Notori.
The director told me, you're good. Don't ever stop. And I was in the middle of like, is this what I want to do? What should I be doing? So I took my break, but I took my break with that confidence. And I realized being successful meant I also knew how to check in with me. And check in and say, hey, this isn't working for me right now. I'm gonna take a little break. So that was the big thing I had to do, is change the definition of success.
I like that.
You can't steal it.
I think it's on tape. So I think a lot of people appear successful, and I'm not going to judge anyone else's success, but a lot of those people are very unhappy. They have all these things and they don't have all these things. And so for me, success is always remembering what's most important, which is not fame, it's not money, it's not adoration, it's not all these things that are fly by night. Even if they weren't fly by night, they're not the most important things. It's just remembering what's most important, which is who I am, who I believe I was called to be, or I know I'm called to be, never believing my own hype, never getting caught up in the things that just simply, they just don't matter. Like, you can't take them with you when you die, and people care for a time, and you can't really base your life on that. Your life has really got to be in true connection with who you are and why you were put here. So that for me is success, is keeping that at the forefront and always having peace in my heart no matter what the season, because I know that.
Wayne Lee Jr. wants to know, have either of you played a villain in a movie?
Wayne Lee Jr. I played a villain.
You're kind of a villain in this movie.
Oh, I did play a villain in Ride or Die. I got blown up with a tampon.
Oh, you did.
That is true.
You were like fake somebody.
Yeah,
fake
I was like,
Venus.
fake Venus.
Fake Venus.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think if I've ever played a villain outside of that, and I don't know. I can't think of anything on the top of my head. But what I will say is I would love to play a villain. Like, well, I was kind of a villain in the game, kind of, but I was also kind of misunderstood, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you never really played like a true, like...
Right. But she was trying to blackmail him, though. That's pretty shady.
Yeah, but like dude on Daredevil, in the first season, he was a villain.
That's
like,
what I want.
You know, the Joker.
Yeah.
It's a villain.
Punisher. Yeah, I would love to play a villain.
Any more?
Terrence Hinton.
Terrence?
Who was one of your movie crushes?
My husband.
I was like, what a Wayne. That was such a weird, like, that question, and then her real life crush walks through the door.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, that was some old, that was weird. That was like some kid.
Yeah, that was
like,
kind of crazy.
That was really
I don't know.
weird.
I've had the same crush for about 5 years now, so I don't know. It's been a long time.
Oh my god.
It was one of your crushes.
My movie, actor crush?
Yeah.
Oh, my friend Bridget could attest to this. I knew I was marrying Lorenz Tate. I knew I was marrying Lorenz Tate. You don't understand. I had me and Lorenz Tate wedding date planned out. I used to have his picture. When I was in college, I had his picture on my desk.
Right.
I saw Love Jones in the movie theater 4 times.
Real
And then flash forward when I actually met him, I was like, I'm a grown ass woman. I can't fan out. I can't fan out. I'm a grown ass woman, dog. I'm a grown ass woman.
I have music crushes.
But now it's,
like
you know what it
artists.
is now? It's Perfection Walking. Idris Elba. It's Perfection Walking.
But yeah. I used to have a big crush on Usher.
Oh,
I did. I really did. I had a total fascination thing. I think most people I had crushes on were musicians. Yeah.
You're a music girl.
Yeah.
Let me see. As a child actor, who helped you in your journey?
Who asked the question?
Danny B.
Danny B. As a child actor, who helped me in my journey? Obviously, my mom. My mom was like, you know, my rock, everything. Just incredible. So not a stage mom. So about wanting us to just do what we felt in our heart and really keeping it honest with us and really protecting us without being overbearing. Also Jim Brown, my godfather, he made me feel, whereas I always felt like I didn't fit in anywhere else. He made me feel special for feeling that way. And he made me feel that it was okay to communicate a little bit different than maybe some other people do and to not quite fit in with the status quo. And he made me see that that was something special for me. And he really helped develop my mind as a young person to just understand my value and to take pride in my strangeness. And
she is that.
I am strange, yes.
But so am I.
Yeah.
Birds will forever flock together.
These are true. These are true things.
But you know what?
But
I like being strange.
me too. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Me neither. Being normal is so overrated.
Yeah.
So corny.
So there's that.
Okay.
Cool.
Let me see.
I think we have time for like what?
Two more, yeah. And again, if you want to support us and our vision and what we want to put out into the world, to the community, and we want you to have ownership over it too, because we want you to be a part of it. Go to crazyactressproductions.com. Crazy. What again?
Or it really look like.
I don't know. It depends. I mean, yeah, because the camera.
Yeah, because it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got skills. You
It's
see
like
that
that.
backwards?
We're gonna watch it back and it's gonna be like, oh.
I'm not gonna watch it back. That's just odd.
Solo Anderson wants to know, what are your secrets to staying grounded?
This.
Solo Anderson.
So-
Then having people hold you accountable that love you, that'll tell you the truth.
The honest truth.
Focusing on what's important, not getting caught up in the hype. Again, I said this earlier, like really making it not about being famous or not about the accolades, not about any of that, but really about who are you, why were you created, how can you use the creativity that God's put inside of you to put something positive out there and to use your platform to do something bigger than yourself. So I just
And to remember that you're never not learning. You don't know everything.
No.
Even though you think you know everything, you don't know everything. So I think remembering that and remembering like at the end of the day too, if I'm lucky, which when I was a kid, side note, I used to pray to God to live to be 99. I skipped over the part in the prayers that said if I should die before I wake because it scared me.
Right.
So I would skip over that and add, and please God let me live to be 99. P.S. I always said P.S. and please God. My mom just let me be. But I realized like if we're lucky to get 90 years, because my great granddaddy was like 96 when he died. If we're lucky to get 96 years on this earth, that is so short in the bigger scheme of things.
Yeah.
So when you remind yourself that nothing is that deep, that nothing is that important, nobody is more or less important than anybody else. Nobody's job is any more or less. We're not curing cancer.
God wishes you exactly
the same. We all put on our
You may be an
pants.
actress and you may be a teacher, and guess what? God loves you and looks at you exactly the same. Do not believe your own hype because it is a lie.
And that's what keeps me. I mean, and then when you're faced with real life challenges, it also reminds you, like, okay, I lost that thing just like you lost that thing. Okay, we're all this.
Sidebar: I used to pray to look like the members of In Vogue, and that's a true story.
Wait, so that was yours? So
my
that was
prayer
your
was
PS?
like, please God, let me look like the members of In Vogue. They're so pretty.
While I'm over here, yes, God, please let me live to be 99. Okay, and that was like after I would do all my God blessings.
When you get older, your prayers mature. So when you're young, you
I still pray to be 99. There would be a fly 99, dude. Don't get it twisted.
Listen, that's why we want to put something better into this world so that it will be good to be here long.
Exactly.
Rodney Love Jr. wants to know, have you considered being a superhero in a movie?
I live and dream being a superhero in a movie. You don't understand. Like, if you look at my Instagram right now, I'm learning Taekwondo. I'm working out every day. I totally changed my diet. I've cut back on alcohol. Like, I literally am rearranging my life because my goal is to be a superhero, and I guarantee you it will be done. It will get done.
And I just want to look like a superhero, so I'm
Yes.
just going along for the ride.
Pretty much. Listen, we're motivating each other, inspiring each other, and yeah. So that is absolutely gonna happen, Rodney. Remember, I said it here first.
Yep. So thank you guys for joining us for this hour that we were here. Yay! It felt like so quick. But thank you guys so much. Again, if you want to support us, please share our link. Go to our webpage, crazyactressproductions.com.
With
Click
a K.
yes, with a K. Click the link that says IndieGoGo campaign. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend, so that we can show those Veronica Mars people that we can do it too.
That we have people who want to support and put something amazing out there too. So
thank you.
Yeah.